Welcome to the Farmcast.
All right, we're going to be talking some conspiracy theories today. A little hot. The internet loves to run wild with some cool theories. We all have one we're going to share, and we're going to get crazy. We're going to get into some cool shit.
Just a little disclaimer. Some of these may be very, very false. Some could be very, very true. But for our purposes, we're just going to be presenting the conspiracies, and you can come to your own conclusions.
Yeah, we're going to be throwing these out there. The audience, you decide.
Yeah.
But first one, I'll kick us off with one that I think is a lot of fun to talk about that I'm interested in. Don't know if I completely believe it, but there's some parts here and there that I can pick and choose what I want to believe and what I don't want to.
Alternative facts.
And yeah, and this is kind of memed on the internet a little bit. I see it a lot, and I know right when I say this, it's going to be like, oh, ha ha, funny, Zach. But hear me out here. So we live in a simulation, or if you don't like that word, we live in the Matrix.
We live in a society, but I'll take that.
Well, that's a given. We live in a society within the simulation. So I can work with you on that. But so this isn't as crazy as it sounds. I know, like, right away, like, when some crazy shit happens, it's like, oh my god, whoa, simulation. But, you know, that could be a thing. But the first one that people have talked about for a while is the Mandela effect. Have you guys familiar at all with the Mandela effect?
Maybe if some of the viewers aren't.
I'll run.
Yeah, it's better. He definitely knows. But
I know,
refresh
but just
everybody
for the kids watching, can you run it through? But the Mandela effect, people remember him dying in the 1980s. Like, they vividly remember him dying, but he actually died in 2013. So it's kind of like this, what the fuck? Like, I went my whole life thinking he was dead, and he just died now. But people vividly remember watching his, like, funeral ceremony and him dying in the 1980s. But that's the big theory of, like, the Mandela effect. But there's other cases, like the famous Berenstain Bears versus Berenstain
that's the one
Bears. That's the one that fucks me up too, and a lot of people, because there's a big post on it, Reddit. If you want to deep further into it, I'm not going to go crazy, but we would have, as we're reading, we would have remembered how to say it if it's Berenstain Bears or whatever.
What do you think? But what do you remember it as?
Berenstain Bears.
I was always Steen. I couldn't believe there were people who thought it was Berenstain, but apparently it is spelled like that.
Yes,
now,
and that's what's so weird. Exactly. So these are these weird things where people vividly remember something, and it's to the point, like, that's how I remember it. I remember this song. There was a PBS show, The Berenstain Bears. They sang it, The Berenstain Bears, but then someone linked a YouTube clip. It was Berenstain Bears on, like, the real television show, which fucked me up because I remember it as Steen. I really do. So that really messes with me. So the argument around that for being a simulation is that things change. Like, the simulation kind of changes. We bump into, like, realities collide.
So is it that, or is it a glitch?
That's part of it too, like, glitch in the Matrix, something weird happened. But, like, another way to look at it is, like, the thing running simulation changes something. Kind of like a game goes through an update. Like in a video game, if you're walking over a bridge in Overwatch and you get bumped off something, you can do, I don't know, something weird. It gets, then, like, there's an update and it, like, cuts that off. That doesn't happen anymore. So, like, going forward, that is eliminated or changed. So that's just a way to look at it. There are a couple more things I want to point out before we get into a full discussion about some reasons why it could be this. DNA that contains computer virus. So
what?
in 2017, University of Washington, they did a study. They were kind of looking into DNA and seeing, like, their full purpose was something unrelated, but they came to this conclusion, and that they could actually they proved that you can create DNA, or you can put computer code into a physical strand of DNA. So it's not crazy to have, like, this assumption that what we think of as biology could just be like computer code, and not like in like an actual sense, but like more of like, you know, kind of a connection there. Like that's just the coding of this simulation. On top of that, we have not found aliens yet. I think we can all agree that it's totally, you know, alien life has to exist.
How do you know?
Is it possible? Okay, that's also a good theory. We might get to that later on in this episode, I bet. But is it possible that they escaped the simulation? Or are they the ones who could be behind the simulation, have their hands in it somehow? That one's a little more far-fetched, but I wanted to throw that one out there. Also, we've talked a lot on this podcast about advanced technology.
We always do.
We have lived our whole life in like the most advanced going forward. When we were kids, we I remember playing RuneScape on dial-up. Now I could play like something of RuneScape's level on my phone from any place, and it would be faster than that. So, and then like now we've got VR technology, and it's to the point where when you're in VR, we're getting to the point where you are almost completely in a whole new reality, and you don't even notice it because like we're getting that far with technology. So if we're already getting to that point in our lifetime, who says you can't just completely create a whole new simulation with that and more advanced technology? So the idea of living in a simulation where you're totally lost is not crazy.
Can I butt in and ask a question?
Yes, totally. Yes.
In this conspiracy theory, that like we're living in a simulation, like what is the point of it? Like why would the aliens or whoever put us in this simulation?
Mm-hmm. Well, why do you play any like video games? Like, why? Those are all different simulations. You hop on 2K, you're simulating a guy playing basketball.
Okay,
Imagine
so
wanting to roleplay as me. Couldn't be me.
I was thinking there was a reason for us, but the reason would be these other beings. Like, that's the reason that
we are
we
like
would be
the experiment.
We're the
the bugs in the
se.
tank.
Okay,
Yeah, we're the fish in the tank and shit like that. So it's really just, who knows? Honestly, we don't know. And that's, I guess, maybe something kind of scary. But on top of this, the biggest one that gets pointed to with this simulation idea is the weird fucking news we have seen in the last decade. Number 1, Donald Trump is president. Number 2, Brexit. Number 3, the whole weird fucking Oscar mix-up that happened. Like, this is just shit that has happened on large scale that has been spread out, and like, it's just weird shit that you wouldn't expect to happen. Same thing, they listed one of them being the Patriots-Falcons Super Bowl, that blown lead, as one of those, like, what the fuck moments.
It's a very all-encompassing conspiracy, huh?
Yeah.
Cover all your bases.
Exactly. So I just have a few more points before I really open it up. I know, I went deep into this.
Just 10 more.
We don't see a lot of things we don't see a lot of like the technology and things that we use that work for us. For example, internet. How the fuck am I talking to you guys right now? We don't see that. Obviously there's like, you know, technology behind the internet, but like me talking to you guys now, I don't see like the connection. I don't see the wire going to all of you guys.
And if I can't see it, it don't exist.
Yeah, but like, so with that, based off that idea, it's not crazy to say that there's some other like radio waves. We don't see it. It's not crazy to think that there is some like kind of technology behind our universe that's working that we just aren't aware to, that we're completely blind to. Yeah, I guess that's kind of, I think that's all the,
so yeah,
we just have, oh wait, no, one more is, Earth is literally the perfect place for human life. It is so perfect for, like, where we are with the sun, the resources that we have currently, like, everything is just, this is literally, 1 in trillion chance that that Earth would become this way and we would have these social dynamics. Literally, it is so insane that would happen that it's like, shit, I don't know what the fuck's up with that. Yeah, and the thing is, we can't prove this wrong. If we were in a simulation, we wouldn't know it. So
Wow.
that's where I'm.
Zach says, can't unprove it. I'm right.
I want to. No, that's not even my theory. Like, I knew you guys would turn this and be like, "Oh, Zach thinks this." I don't necessarily. I think it's interesting to think about. I also think, kind of topical. I had a really terrible. I have bad night terrors. And I put in our group chat. I told you guys kind of about the really violent one I had. And I just, like, I have vivid, like, my dreams are fucking vivid, and they have, like, reoccurring places and people in them. And,
yeah.
that's just, like, really fucking odd, and it creates a whole new reality. So I think it's weird to think, like, oh, how do I know if I'm sleeping the other reality doesn't become a thing? I don't know. It's interesting to question it. Do I believe it? No.
This sounds like Joe Rogan's wet dream.
Yeah, so Joe Rogan, we know you're listening. Hop on the pod. Let's talk, baby. What do you guys think?
My question is, who's controlling the simulation? Is it, like, an advanced group of like humans that created the simulation and just recreating the simulation with, like, their own kind? Or is it just an outside entity, like aliens, that created
Sounds like outside entity.
I think outside.
I think you can make
like
an argument for both.
Really advanced aliens.
I mean, could it be God?
Okay.
No.
Oh.
Or Ja?
Ja. Yeah, it's XXX Tentacion just
okay,
controlling.
well, I mean, I'll just say this. I don't know. That might have roasted people the wrong way. They might be thinking, can't be Ja. It's impossible. I've never seen Ja and the internet in the same room. So.
Oh, fuck.
Some
Shit.
scathing.
I will one up that.
Yeah.
I've never seen Ja and God in the same room together. Could Ja be the one behind the system?
Welcome to the Ja cast.
Did he create the society that we live in? It's a lot to think about.
Man.
I know it's heavy stuff.
What does 17 really mean?
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of just like, I think those are interesting ideas that
Maybe
like
his album art of the question mark was a sign that we should be questioning everything.
Oh, it's a hint.
new theory, Ja theory.
And then people are starting to actually, you know what? I'm not going to get into that.
No, get into it.
Yeah.
I don't need to get
We are
into
getting,
that.
Let's get in,
we are
might
getting
as
way
well.
into Ja talk.
Maybe the whole reason that we perceive that he is no longer on this mortal plane is because people were getting onto him, and he had to shut it off real quick. He had to make sure
shit.
people weren't talking about, oh, is Ja controlling the simulation? Is Ja God?
Oh yeah.
So
It's Ja.
It's
God.
Ja.
Okay.
maybe him
On God.
he actually faked his own death and was just a distraction. Just makes you think.
He's the one pulling the strings.
Yeah, we shouldn't have brought this up. You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
we went. This was not the conversation I thought we'd be having when I thought about this when I was looking at this theory. I didn't think we'd go into XXX Tentacion and just let's run it through with Ja God.
Zach, have you seen the movie The Truman Show?
Yes, I have. I love it, and I've always been scared that my life is like that.
Yeah, dude. I almost feel like it's probably
You
like
wanna explain
human
The
nature
Truman
to
Show?
think
'Cause I don't
like
think
that,
I've seen
right?
it.
It is a Jim Carrey movie where he is literally living in a simulation. Everything.
And I know. Okay, hold up.
Literally in a society.
You cannot start off the Jim, or you can't start off describing the Truman Show as it's a Jim Carrey movie, because
Why
that gives
not?
a totally different idea of what kind of movie that is.
Well, maybe he like seen it and he forgot about it. I don't know.
Okay, yeah,
just
it's
family-friendly
basically
Jim
a
Carrey.
guy. He lives. It's Jim Carrey, and
Yep.
he lives in like this world, but it's actually a TV show. But he grew up in it, where everyone is actors, and his whole life has been televised. It's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, fantastic movie. But yeah, like
He
so
thinks it's his real life. He doesn't
Yes.
know that it's this TV show
Yeah.
a simulation.
Yeah. And like it is terrifying because it's like fuck, am I've after watching that movie I always question it.
Yeah.
I'm like, where are the cameras? Who the fuck's watching?
Right. Sometimes I
My-
just look up in the corner of my room and be like, "You guys see that?" You know.
Is that
Yeah,
job?
AOA. No, enough. God. But yeah, I just thought that was a really interesting theory, and it would explain. I feel like we cannot predict the future. We cannot. Try predicting a news article in a year from now. Good luck. You fucking can't. Like, it feels like everything's just more crazy. Maybe that's just our perspective as we're getting older and aging with this. But I feel like we were born at such a perfect time for a perfect scenario now for this weird shit. I don't know. That's my thoughts. So, don't know what you guys.
Okay.
Maybe you agree. Maybe you don't. But that's my theory.
No, I feel like everybody has that thought. Like, you're kind of living in a
A
simulation.
society.
A society.
Oh, so
yeah.
simulation too, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like I've definitely thought like that. You know, maybe not so much recently when I was in high school, I guess. But Kyle
Life was
Decker,
a
have you guys
movie,
ever
man.
like thought about like that? You know, like there's something controlling
Yeah,
everything that's happening.
There's like the
around me.
thought of like
Yeah.
kind of. I'm trying to think how to put this. It's like. Kyle, you go. I'm trying to think of what I'm trying to say.
Okay. You know what? I've wondered. I've dabbled in the possibility of it. I can
Yeah.
see it. It's never something I've subscribed too heavily to, but I know there's certain times where you're just it's in the back of your head. You're just thinking,
Like, there's
maybe,
no way this
maybe.
could happen just naturally.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
Like,
I
it's
feel
too ironic, you know.
It's an interesting idea. That's,
It
you know.
is.
Plus, like, if we weren't living in a simulation,
Society.
how could anyone dislike Culvers? So, I don't know.
True.
It's interesting.
How could anybody actually, how could anybody
No,
like the
don't
ranch?
do it, Kyle.
I don't buy it.
Shut up.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, how could anyone go to Pizza Ranch?
Oh, pathetic.
But yeah, that's my theory. If you guys don't have any more thoughts, you can spit out one of your theories.
Yeah, I can get into mine.
Okay.
Mine's a big pivot.
Oh, God.
So this one's a little less heavy. This one may or may not have happened. It's hard to say, but we'll talk about it, lay down the facts, and we'll figure it out from there. So mine is going to be concerning a famous baseball player. You may or may not have heard of him. His name is Cal Ripken Jr. Now, Cal Ripken, he has a 95.9 career WAR. He's got over 3,000 hits, 430 home runs, Hall of Famer. He is a
The
two-time
Iron
MVP. And most famously, he is the Iron Man, yeah. He has played in the most consecutive games in MLB history, and he took that record from Mr. Lou Gehrig, who played, 1930s. So, the big conspiracy with Mr. Cal Ripken here is that in August of 1997, the Baltimore Orioles, this is just the claim, the Baltimore Orioles deliberately created a lighting malfunction before a game to keep Cal Ripken's consecutive game streak alive. Now, this may sound a little wonky, a little like, I don't know, maybe, but what's the point? Why is that so interesting? Except, the reason he would have missed that game, is rumor claims, is one evening in August 1997, Ripken was unable to make it to the park for that day's game due to fallout of having caught his wife cheating on him
Oh, God.
with Kevin Costner.
What? What?
So I'll read it. This is verbatim. This is just the claim. So a game between the Orioles and the Seattle Mariners was scheduled for Oriole Park on August of 1997 and was canceled due to lighting problems. But there was, quote, nothing mysterious about the incident. A ground fault interrupt kept tripping the circuit breaker each time the lights in one of Oriole Park's lighting banks was turned on, and the game's 7:35 p.m. starting time was pushed back as the crew worked on the problem. The businesses surrounding Oriole Park did not have any of these lighting issues. So it's a little strange because it was apparently part of the grid. So the crew finally got the bank of the lights working by 8:45 p.m., but about 20 bulbs in the bank failed to illuminate, and the umpiring crew had to make the decision whether to allow the game to begin. They officially postponed the game at 10 p.m. after determining that shadows at home plate created unsafe playing conditions. Now, shortly afterwards, a conspiracy rumor was concocted from this scenario, which involved actor Kevin Costner, who had a long-standing friendship with Cal Ripken, and rumors of marital difficulties between Ripken and his wife Kelly. According to that rumor, Ripken caught Costner in bed with his wife in the morning of August 14th, 1997, and the shock of that betrayal left Ripken too emotionally distraught and or too sore and bruised from battling with Costner for him to show up at Camden Yards for the Orioles game with the Mariners. Some versions of this rumor even maintained that Ripken couldn't make it to the ballpark because he had been hauled off to jail for the assault. Unsubstantiated claims, but maybe.
Don't know. Oh, go ahead. I thought you were done. Sorry.
A little bit more. In order to preserve the tremendous publicity value of Ripken's consecutive game streak, Orioles management quickly arranged for somebody in the Camden Yards facilities crew to facilitate a, quote, malfunction that would prevent the day's game from coming off as scheduled and provide Ripken with the much-needed day off to recover from his ordeal and to keep the streak alive.
Sounds real to me.
Now, I don't know if I believe it. Love the story.
But I'm here for it.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I wish... You know what? I'm going to believe it because I think back in the... Well, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't believe it. I don't think organizations care enough about their players.
Oh, this was supposed to be an unbreakable streak. This was right up there with like consecutive hits in games. This was one of the untouchables. So I don't think for a franchise like Baltimore, I mean their best player ever, arguably.
See, that's what I had in the back of my head, but I don't know enough about like the pre-2000s before I started paying attention to baseball, like the Orioles organization. I didn't know if they were good prior to that or if that was like the one thing they had going at the time was Cal Ripken in a streak.
Well, there's a little bit more. So, in an interview in 2008 for Cal Ripken on NPR, they asked him about it, and he said, "It's easy to check the facts. I remember it very well. The bank of lights went off, and Randy Johnson was pitching for the Mariners, and we were deciding what to do about that. Was there enough visible light out there to actually see a guy throwing over 100 miles per hour? The bank was just over the dugout, and I physically went and tested it for the umpire. I was in discussion with the umpire. I was definitely there, and I was ready to play. The funny part about it is that we all decided it was better that we play that night because the next day would have been a Sunday day game, and Randy Johnson would have been throwing out of the stands. And in day games, he's much harder to see. So we all decided that we were going to go." Lou Piniella was the Seattle manager at the time, told Seattle a little different story, that the game wasn't going to go and that they started leaving the ballpark, so they didn't have an option after all. So it's a little bit of a conflict. Also, they asked Kevin Costner about this in 2001. When this legend was repeated by a couple hosts on Fox Sports Radio in June of 2001, an angry Costner called the show the next day to deny it and tell the hosts that if they claimed the story was true, quote, "I was going to take your heads off." Costner maintained at the time that he had met Ripken's wife only twice in his life and that he had spent no more than 10 minutes with her altogether, which makes you think, and he had never been to Ripken's home, which, that doesn't outright deny it. You don't need to be in home, and it definitely doesn't take 10 minutes. Since Costner was noted sitting in the stands the whole game with Kelly Ripken, his, quote, 10 minutes and, quote, twice in his life were probably underestimates. Whether Kevin Costner's relationship with whatever his relationship with the Ripkens might have been, Cal and Kelly stayed together long afterwards, married for 28 years, and Costner didn't make some Machiavellian maneuvering on part of the Orioles necessary to keep Cal from missing a game. Now, my personal opinion, I'm buying it because Cal would never admit it because it would ruin his streak, his reputation. Kevin Costner would never admit it because he's an upstanding man. So and also Kevin Costner, good-looking dude. Kevin Costner in his heyday. You telling me he couldn't have gotten Kelly Ripken? It only would have taken, and he's already lying about how many times he met her, already lying about the time that he met her.
Dude, I just had a realization. when you said Kevin Costner was a good-looking dude, I was picturing Kevin Bacon the entire time.
Oh no.
I don't
was
think that
thinking
would
it
have
was
changed.
Kevin Bacon the
Would that
entire
have changed
time.
facts?
I know, but it's different. It changes it for me.
I did have to look up again who Kevin Costner was.
I'm going to be
I'm
honest.
embarrassed that
I don't know
thought it
what
was
Kevin Costner
Bacon.
looked like in
I
1997,
don't know.
but I'm willing to assume.
I see a
My
couple-
fantasy
you
of
know-
Kevin Costner has
I
this
think
being very possible.
Yeah. I think current day Kevin Costner's a good looking.
I don't
guy,
know
so,
what
like,
either of them
I
look
believe
like.
he'd be
A good
So,
looking dude.
so imagine 1997 Costner.
Yeah, and he was already kicking off his movie career, so I believe it.
Kelly
a lot of
Ripken
stuff
wouldn't
like
have been
that.
able to take his hands off.
Yeah, a lot of stuff like that. It's, you keep it quiet. And I think him calling into the radio show so angry is a little interesting, because usually when weird stories like this come through,
Most people
just
would
ignore
debunk
them.
it right
Yeah.
away instead of getting like angry.
Well, yeah,
I
but
guess
they didn't have the internet back then, or not good internet, so I don't know. I buy it. Fuck it. It obviously did an emotional scar to him, that story, because eventually in 2014 he was in the movie Draft Day, and that movie sucks. So who knows? Maybe that started a downward spiral.
And you know what? If they're such good friends, why isn't Mr. Cal Ripken in that movie? Wouldn't friends support each other?
Oh yeah,
Because
no kidding.
according to Kevin Costner, he went to Cal Ripken's games. So why wouldn't Mr. Costner invite Mr. Ripken to his movies?
Oh, and also if he's going to his games, you know who else is probably going to his games? His wife.
They said they were together.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, I buy it. Fuck it. That's not a theory. That's facts.
So in my mind, Lou Gehrig is the rightful owner of that record.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
A superior baseball player.
no.
All right, come on the pod and defend yourself, Kevin
thought so,
Costner.
too.
I thought you were going to say Lou Gehrig for a second. I was going to say, come on, Zach. Come on.
I want Lou Gehrig's thoughts.
Well. All right. Well,
Okay,
that's
a good theory.
Welcome to the Dead Celebrities cast.
yeah. Each theory has made us bring up a dead person. Maybe we are in a simulation.
We really do live in a society. So who wants to bring up Dead Celebrities next?
I don't think mine will involve any dead celebrities,
Whoa.
but
Yeah, get out of here.
I'm sure we can find a way.
Okay.
Mine is kind of in the same vein as Kyle's, a little more lighthearted. Doesn't have anything to do with our... Well, actually it does. I'll let you guys make a judgment. So my conspiracy theory has to do with toothpaste.
All right, I'm listening.
My God.
Go
Everyone
on.
knows about like fluoride in water, fluoride in toothpaste. They think it makes you dumber, makes you or causes cancer.
True, everybody thinks that.
Yeah, everyone.
All conspiracy theories. That's not what I'm here to talk about because I frankly don't care about fluoride.
It shows.
I'm here to talk about I'm here to talk about how in the late 50s, Big Toothpaste moved the holes of the toothpaste tube from 5 millimeters to 6 millimeters. Which to many people, a millimeter is not very big, right? Right? Would you guys agree? A millimeter does not seem very large.
I would agree.
I like
with
to
that.
think a millimeter's large, but that's my own problem.
We're all counting millimeters. Let's be honest. But
Jesus. God.
But so, with the average length of a toothpaste or a toothbrush head being about a half inch, that 1 millimeter difference increases the amount of toothpaste output by 40%.
Okay.
Yep.
Which then it causes
personally
us the
crunching the
consumer.
toothpaste number.
It causes us the consumer to buy more toothpaste. When there's seemingly no reason or need to increase the toothpaste size, Big Toothpaste is just trying to squeeze as much money out of us as they can.
You're
You know
onto
what?
something. You're onto something here.
I can see it.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know what to think. There's a lot of thoughts happening.
There's a lot of things you might be questioning.
A couple.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be honest now after saying this, that might not be very thought-provoking. Because I think that might just be a fact. I don't know if it's proven or not, but it just kind of gets me thinking, are there any other, like, sort of conspiracy theories or thoughts you guys have on companies, like, who do things on purpose so we have to buy more or buy other products from them? Like, the big one was, like, Apple, right? Whenever, like, a second generation Apple product would come out, like, the next generation Apple product would come out, your iPhone would seem to crash and go slow. Right? Is there anything else out there like that you guys can think of?
Yeah, I was just about to say
like
that.
Planned obsolescence kind of stuff.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
I mean, it makes it, along with the Apple, I know, like, the biggest reason they stuck with the lightning cord for so long, even though it was literally a worse product, was that, you know, you had to keep buying lightning cords, and that there's one place to get them. You got to get an Apple one. So I think that's kind of along the same lines. But
right.
So yeah.
Also moving from the aux cord, taking that away, like that's a big one.
The greed of big toothpaste really, I agree. It probably does know no bounds. And I'm just gonna throw out a suggestion for toothpaste, and you know, maybe companies in general. Maybe if you had an employee-owned company and not like a company owned by like a few billionaire shareholders, maybe you would actually be
Becker, what's your conspiracy
maybe
theory?
you would actually have a product that works more for the people instead of for wallets and paychecks and dividends. It makes you think.
Also, you said we wouldn't think of dead people. We were talking a little bit about Apple. Steve Jobs is dead.
Oh, big dead.
People do forget.
Yep.
People forget that.
So there we go. We've had a dead person for every theory.
True.
Well,
when I'm thinking toothpaste, I'm thinking Jobs.
I'm thinking Tim Apple.
Steve Jobs. Well, that was a good toothpaste discussion.
Yeah, thank you.
I was not
That
expecting
was a good
that.
3 minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's get to the meat and potatoes.
Oh man.
Oh, I can
hear it.
mention one more. I can mention one more.
Yeah.
This one
back to
has
the
to
anyway
do
finale.
with
Okay.
climate change.
Oh no!
I'm listening.
No.
In 2012, President
was
Trump
cold
suggested that
outside.
climate change is a total and very expensive hoax perpetuated or
Yep, you were right.
perpetuated. No, not perpetrated. Perpetuated by the Chinese government. The concept of global warming was created by and for the Chinese in order to make U.S. manufacturing non-competitive.
Is that just the theory?
Do we have any thoughts?
It's a dumb one.
I have thoughts. Yes. In the famous words of Mr. Trump, wrong.
Okay. Well, one more with our dear president. In Indiana, on the eve of the Indiana primary in 2016, Donald Trump attempted to undermine former Republican presidential rival Ted Cruz by saying his father was somehow involved with JFK's assassination because he was photographed in the 60s handing out pro-Fidel Castro leaflets with Lee Harvey Oswald.
I buy it.
Yeah.
I buy it too. I don't trust anything about that fucker.
There's
Zodiac
something
killer
up
Ted
with
Cruz.
Ted Cruz.
Yeah, that was my biggest argument. Have you seen Ted Cruz?
He's got the
Yeah,
picture with
there's
the
something-
butter cow. I don't know. That guy's weird.
Yeah,
You know, he
there's
has his own
something up with it.
podcast, and it's like one of the most
do I know?
popular charting podcasts. Are you like?
Well, I only
kidding
listen
me?
to the Farmcast. So
Well,
I don't
Cruz,
really
feel
know.
free to come on the podcast.
Yeah, Mr. Cruz, if you're listening, we know you are. Defend yourself. Hop on the pod. Your father killed
Defend your
JFK.
dead dad.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Mr.
God,
Cruz,
it's always
coward.
bringing a dead person up in theories.
I don't know if Ted Cruz's dad is dead or not.
Hopefully.
Okay. All right.
That's where we're gonna cut off the podcast right after. Hopefully,
We're just gonna cut this.
All right, we've been building up for Becker's dark and twisted
All right, boys.
theory.
I did not know we were going the lighthearted route, so I have a.
Clearly, we're going the lighthearted route. I can't wait till Ted Cruz's dad dies.
So my conspiracy theory deals with government, but not like political in any sense. So It deals with government.
But it deals with government.
Okay, no, the problem is. So, my conspiracy theory is April, the month of April, is the government's blood sacrifice season. Alright, listen up. I'll read the short synopsis. So, according to the people, April is actually the government's blood sacrifice season, and during this month, government performs...
Can I just ask
The
real
people.
quick, who is the people?
So, April is actually the
people.
government's blood sacrifice season, and during this month, the government performs sacrifices to the demon god Baal, and then later disguises these sacrifices as tragedies.
Ball?
And then it goes on to say, weirdly enough, mid-April has been actually the season, or has been a period of sacrifice throughout many civilizations, and the cult of Baal used to worship their god of sun and fertility by sacrificing humans and fire. So some of these ancient civilizations are like the Incas, who'd sacrifice people, like children. The Mayas would sacrifice prisoners of war, and Aztecs also performed human sacrifice. So then I was looking through different tragedies within the U.S. and like in the month of April, and it's all like mid-April. All right, so starting off with President Abraham Lincoln shot in April 14th, 1865. That was the first one. Second one I found was the Titanic sinks April 15th, 1912. The Great Mississippi flood, which they received 15 inches of rain, even though that's like a natural phenomenon, like rain happens, obviously. But the levees, but they do control
government
the
controls
levee
the
system
weather.
that was faulty during that time, which ended up killing 246 people in April 15th, 1927. A more recent one, the Boston Marathon bombing, April 15th, 2013. Virginia Tech shooting killed 32 people in 2007 on April 16th. The Oklahoma City bombing in April 19th, 1995.
Jesus.
And then also the Columbine shooting in April 20th, 1999. So, a lot of things happen in April. A lot of things happen. So is there a sole reason behind like these?
Well, you're forgetting one tragedy in April 16th of 1997.
Exhibit A. Exhibit A.
So I kind of buy it.
So yeah. So it just makes you think like all these national
Doesn't make
incidences
me
and
think.
tragedies happen mid-April.
Fenner, weren't you born in April?
Maybe.
So
That's enough reason.
You want to know my
think
social
April
too,
sucks.
Pate?
Yeah. Why are you asking the questions?
I mean, I wasn't born in April. I'm off the
I'm not
hook.
born in April
I'm
either.
scot-free.
I think there's...
Becker,
this has
so
some-
what do you think?
I'm
I think
not
there's more to
picking
this.
a side
Is that
here
it?
or here or against. However, I'm
no,
just
that's
reporting.
not how things...
Oh,
Hey.
middleman Becker.
I'm
am I
not
right,
saying
boys?
it's true, and I'm not saying it's false. I'm just letting the people know that this is out there. Get them thinking.
Wait, is that so? That's all there is to this. There's no
No.
grander.
Like, what's the reason,
The reason
that they're
is
sacrificing?
it's just like it's part of like a cult
to
essentially.
their
So
god?
like the demon god Baal is like there's a cult behind it, and it's pretty much like it's their god they worship for like sun and fertility to essentially promise them from promise the gods promise them for like better harvest and just like a greater fortune like as society progresses. So essentially they just mask these tragedies as sacrifices, but they don't tell you they're sacrifices. So
I think that's
what
kind of
about
related
all
to
the
the
other
tragedies?
tragedies? Well, like all the other shootings and stuff like that. Those
I
are
mean,
just
there could be
natural
other reasons
occurrences.
behind it, but there's a significant amount that happened in mid-April during this sacrifice season.
Okay.
That is, I remember the theory of like they kill off celebrities in threes, and like when
I
one
buy
celebrity.
that one. Unironic.
I think that's interesting. I don't know what to think. I don't know what the gain would be, but I'm interested in that one. But yeah, I just thought there was a correlation there.
Now here's my rebuttal. Bad things happen in other
Yes.
months. Also.
Not saying those happen like unplanned or planned by the government or other cults, but this one is specifically like detailed to be the blood sacrifice season in April. So these events that happened are in correlation to the sacrifice season.
I would be curious to see, like, over the last, let's say, 60 years, like, a spreadsheet having, like, all of the tragedies that happen throughout the United States, like, what months they occur in, to see if it really is, like, there is, like, 50% of all, like, mass tragedies, where we lose, America loses a bunch of casualties or whatever. If like 50% of them happen in April. Because otherwise, I feel like what Kyle said, like tragedies happen year round.
And that's saying,
man, you weren't lying. You were getting dark with this.
Yeah,
holy.
maybe
so
I'll
when
be
April
paying
comes
attention
around,
to the news
mid-April,
a little
just pay
more,
attention, keep your eyes
in the
open.
upcoming month.
If the Farmcast stops in April, they're on to us.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh,
If it stops after this
well,
episode.
good. I've
they're
got my
on to us.
gun bumper sticker, so nobody's going to
hell
be
yeah.
messing with me.
Yeah.
Just kidding. The Farmcast will never end.
Yep. Okay.
So where does the Illuminati fit in all this, huh?
I feel I kind of got Illuminati vibes.
See,
from
also,
the whole thing.
not in the U.S., but the Notre Dame fire happened the week of April 15th.
I don't think anybody died in
I
that,
mean,
though,
it
did
could have
they?
been a planned.
Okay.
Well, it
so
could have been
what's
planned
the
to be sacrificed or a sacrifice. However, insider knowledge could have gotten people out of there. It was in his like
It's the best
in
month,
past
dude.
like civilizations, like that springtime April time frame was the time frame that most ancient civilizations performed these sacrifices. So that's why they tie it in with April.
Huh, okay.
I like the idea of Kevin Costner fucking Cal Ripken's wife way more.
When can we get a date on that? Was that in April?
Oh, was it? No, I think it was in August.
Oh fuck.
I know.
Well, it begins with an A, so
Oh.
there's a connection there. Conspiracy theorists like hardcore ones will grasp at any straw.
Cal
got an
Ripken
A.
sacrificing his wife's poon.
No.
For the sake of the record.
No. Oh man.
No, Cal,
I think there's a
don't
way.
want to. Kelly, think of me. This is about... Why don't you ever consider what I
This is
want?
bigger than the both
We
of
always
us.
do what you want. You'll never take a game off. Just do it.
Oh my god. I feel like these all fit in with each other. I think every one of these theories fit in with each other.
Wow, it almost makes you think we're living in the Matrix.
Society. They literally all connect. It's
On
all
Ja?
controlled by Ja.
Oh?
Real shit. So yeah, do we have any other thoughts?
I think I'm
On-
tapped out after that.
I gotta
Yeah.
go brush my teeth.
No,
can't find a
easy
5
now with
millimeter
the
one.
toothpaste.
They can't. They just simply don't exist.
You could
Big
build a
toothpaste. They're after us. I can't believe you called them out like this.
yeah.
We have families.
We're gonna have a hit on our heads now because Fenner's owning big toothpaste.
There's gonna be a
People
man
don't
in a
like to talk
Colgate
about
shirt
it.
showing up to me behind me tonight saying, "Nothing personal, kid."
yeah. Oh man, we're going to go for a ride. Opens up the door. We've got to talk.
Hopefully they never discover I found a way to out Pizza the Hut. They're really gonna be after me then.
Can we all agree that the Illuminati is like the dumbest thing that was ever created? Like idea, theory.
Yeah, they totally don't exist. Nope.
Yeah. No.
Wouldn't want to
Sounds
talk
good.
bad about them.
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah, don't know what that is.
If they were real, they would have my support.
Yeah. I
But
would
they're
sure
not.
love them.
Yeah.
I was trying to find a theory about like the Great Pyramids. Because I think
That they're
there's
created
actually like
by aliens?
yeah, I actually think there's some shit
There's
there.
no way. There's
Ancient
absolutely no way.
Have
that
you
people
watched
made
Ancient
those.
Aliens?
Oh, have I watched Ancient Aliens?
And you
everyone
don't believe
has.
it? Hmm.
No,
he
I'm
doesn't.
saying I
No,
don't believe
it's on
that they
the
were
He
right
said
side.
there's
built by
no
people.
way that humans did it.
Oh, okay. All
There's
right.
no
Woo. I
way.
was gonna say, imagine not believing in ancient aliens. Couldn't be me.
Yep. But those are our theories that we have about XXX Tentacion.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed
Pulling the
us.
strings.
I hope you enjoyed us running through some dark shit and some not so dark shit. If you want to hear us talk more conspiracy theories, let us know.
You want to hear
Leave it
us
in a
talk
review.
Kelly Ripken?
Yeah. If you want to hear more about the Ripken and what's his name,
Kevin Costner. You know
Kevin
that guy.
Costner talk, the Costner cast.
Costcast.
If you want more, make sure to follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, YouTube, all of the above, and also leave us a little 5-star review and let us know what conspiracy theory you want us to address. But also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at the Farmcast Pod. We have some fun content over there that you might enjoy as well. But that's all we've got. We'll see you later. Thanks for listening. Bye.